Every day when Katie goes to the office, Max tries to stop her because he loves her company. He thinks, "Katie always leaves me home alone." Katie once had a cat named Chloe, who also used to be left alone when her owners left for the day. After their owners are gone, all the pets in the building live a secret life their owners don't know about. Each pet returns to their homes by evening, but Max always sits by the door, waiting for Katie to come back. One day, Chloe the cat comes to Max and asks, "Where do all the humans go every day?" Max says, "I don't really know, and I don't pay much attention to people." Max then says, "Katie and I have a bond. Maybe that's why no one loves you as much." Soon, Max's friends from the neighborhood arrive. One of them, named Duke, brings a ball that looks exactly like the one Katie had given to Max, which makes Max really happy. When Katie comes home, Max is thrilled to see her. She tells Max, "I brought something for you," and introduces a big dog named Duke. Max doesn't like Duke, thinking Katie will love him more and forget about Max, maybe even throw him out of the house. Duke tells Max, "We have to get along, so we'll share your bed." He even climbs onto Max's bed. Upset, Max runs to Katie and tries to tell her Duke is not a good dog and should be thrown out. Katie sees Max upset and leaves him in her room to calm down. Duke overhears Max's complaint and gets back at him by scaring him and sleeping on his bed. The next morning, Max goes to Chloe and says, "Katie brought a new dog, and I'm really bothered." Chloe replies, "Katie likes dogs, that's why she brought one. But if you don't scare him a little, you'll always be alone." Max returns home and sees a hamster named Norman. Duke tries to catch Norman, but he escapes, knocking over a flower pot in the process. Max starts breaking things in the house to make it look like Duke caused the damage. Max then tells Duke, "Katie trusts me, not you, so she'll suspect you broke everything and throw you out." The next day, Max and all his friends go out for a morning walk. While they're playing fetch, Duke goes to fetch a stick, but instead he uses the moment to try to get rid of Max. Duke calls Max over, grabs him, and throws him into an alley trash bin to get rid of him. Inside the dumpster, Max meets a group of alley cats. One of the cats cuts off Max's collar. Duke starts to fight with the cats, but more cats appear, scaring him off. Meanwhile, the cats capture Max and also cut his collar, leaving him without any ID. Duke comes running back toward Max, but at that moment, Animal Control shows up and captures both Max and Duke. Max realizes, Duke trusted me, and now Animal Control has caught us. If Katie sees me in the pound again, she might not take me back home. I don't want to live locked up in a cage forever. Back at home, Gidget is watching TV when she hears a dog barking from the street. She rushes to the window and sees that it's Mel and Buddy. She asks them about Max. Mel says Max has gone missing. Gidget, who secretly loves Max, gets very worried and sets out to find him. She goes to Chloe and asks if she knows anything, but Chloe doesn't know where Max is either. Meanwhile, on the road, Animal Control spots a rabbit named Snowball. The officers try to catch him, but Snowball attacks them and, with the help of a lizard, hijacks the Animal Control van. Snowball uses a carrot-shaped key to unlock the cages inside the van. The lizard and a large dog take over the van, crashing it into a wall. Duke then asks Snowball and his gang, "Who are you guys?" Snowball explains that all of them were abandoned by their owners, and now they're out for revenge. "We're going to find our owners and make them pay," he declares. Snowball tells Duke, "You're still loyal to your owner, so you can't be part of our team." One of the animals adds, "We hate humans. We even burned our collars and got rid of our owners." Snowball is impressed by their dedication and frees them from their cages. He says, "You're working for me now," and leads them away on a new mission. Meanwhile, Gidget continues searching for Max and ends up on a rooftop where she meets a hawk named Tiberius. Tiberius tells her, "If you let me out of this cage, I'll help you find your friend." Gidget agrees and sets him free. But as soon as Tiberius is out, he tries to eat Gidget, chasing after her. However, because his legs are tied, he can't run far. Gidget gets angry and says, "Instead of helping me, you're trying to eat me." Tiberius pretends to cry and says, "I'm a carnivore. That's just my instinct. But if you free my legs too, I promise I'll help you." Gidget replies, "I don't trust you, but if you help me find Max, I'll become your best friend." Hearing this, Tiberius changes his mind about eating her, partly because he doesn't have much of a choice. Gidget nervously unties him, and Tiberius, now curious about Max, takes off to look for him. Meanwhile, Snowball brings Max to an underground lair full of animals who were abandoned by their owners. Some of them ask Snowball for a password to get inside, and he yells at them before changing the password. The animals there had all been rejected by humans and were full of rage. Their leader steps forward and says, "These new pets have also been thrown away by their owners. Like us, they've taken revenge by eliminating their humans." Hearing this, Everyone cheers. They also want revenge on humans. Snowball asks one of them how he killed his owner, and the pet replies, "I used a blender." Snowball says, "My owner was a magician. He stopped performing magic, so he no longer needed me, and erased me from his life." Back above, Tiberius captures a cat and brings it to Gidget. She takes the cat's collar and asks for information, but the cat refuses to talk. Gidget gets angry and starts beating her. Finally, the cat admits that Max is in the sewers and has been taken by someone. Snowball then prepares to initiate Max and Duke into his team. He wants to give them marks like all the other pets by getting a python to bite them and leave scars. This would officially make them members of his gang. Snowball decides to start with Max. Max is terrified, but before anything happens, two other pets arrive, playing around and shout, "These pets still have collars! We took them!" Hearing this, Snowball gets furious. The other pets use a python's tail to start attacking Max and Duke. During the fight, a wall collapses on the python, killing it. Max and Duke escape in the chaos. Since Max can't run fast, Duke grabs him in his mouth and runs, but they end up taking the wrong path that leads them to a large sewer drain. Snowball and his gang chase after them, determined to catch them again. Meanwhile, Gadget returns home and tells all her friends that someone is missing and they need to go find him. Buddy says that if they go out without their collars, animal control will catch them. Gadget tells everyone, "I love him, and I will go search for him alone." She says, "He helped us. We must save him." Meanwhile, Max and Duke are floating in the river. They reach a place where a boat is passing by. One of them climbs into the boat and pulls Max in too, but when they get to the house, they're thrown out. The person in the boat sees them and decides to go to them as well. At the same time, Buddy goes with his friends to ask a dog named Norman, who has a limp, about Max. There's a party happening in the house, inside a bus. Due to the party, the bus starts to tilt and almost falls. Someone records a video of it and uploads it, which makes a lot of people laugh. Gadget then goes to Buff, asking, "Do we know a friend who might be in the gutter? Can you help us find him?" Buff says, "Yes. My friend is in the gutter, but I haven't left the house lately because my legs are broken." Then Buff sees Chai and starts to like her, so he decides to help and ends the party to go search with everyone. Meanwhile, Max and Duke are extremely hungry. They see a man eating food and rush toward him, but he doesn't share and walks away. Then Duke smells the delicious scent of mutton and runs off to find food. Elsewhere, Boss takes everyone to the rooftop. Tiber, a bird, says, "I'm not sure we should trust this." He asks, "What do you want?" and is told they'll need to go through a secret passage toward the building's basement. They sneak in, and inside, they start eating sausages and enjoy themselves in a dreamlike state. On the other side, everyone is taken to Snowball, who asks about Roger, but they find out that the python has died. Snowball shouts loudly, which scares the others nearby. Then Snowball says he wants to kill Max and Duke, and Gadget overhears this. She warns Snowball, "Stay away from my Max." Snowball realizes they are all Max's friends. He then orders his team to capture everyone, but they all manage to escape. One character grabs Norman in his mouth. Snowball laughs and says, "Until I get what I want, you all have to stay right here." While eating, they talk about the past. One of them recalls their old owner, who was very kind. They used to have fun and sleep together. Both remember those times fondly. But one day, while following food, he got separated, and after looking around, he realized he was lost. Animal control caught him after that. He says, "You want to go back to your owner. He'll be happy to see you. But why didn't he come for me? Maybe he never liked me." They decide not to dwell on it. They agree that Snowball is a little crazy, so they shouldn't take his words seriously. Tiberius tells Gadget, "Make friends with a dog who looks like me. After a few days, you might like him." Gadget replies, "I won't give up that easily," and continues searching for Max with the others. Meanwhile, Snowball and his friends are looking for Duke. Max and Duke escape the animal shelter and head to the old owner's house. Duke hesitates to go in, but Max enters. Inside, they meet a cat who tells Duke to leave. She says, "This is my house now. The owner didn't like cats, so why would he bring you back?" Then she tells them the owner has passed away, and this house belongs to her now. Just then, a car arrives with the owner's son and his wife. Duke barks at them, and they call animal control. Duke and Max try to escape, but the officers catch Max. Duke attacks one of the officers to free Max, allowing Max to escape, but Duke gets captured and locked inside the van. Max chases the van to rescue Duke. Snowball and his gang dress up in costumes and go out to help Max. When a woman sees them, she gets scared. Snowball notices Max following the van and joins the chase. Because of traffic, the van slows down. Snowball and his team crash into the van, and the officers spot them. The officers take Cricket and Pico away. Snowball tells Max, "I don't feel good about this, but from now on we're a team." Snowball climbs onto a bus and drives it, while Max handles the gas and brake pedals. Together, they chase the animal control van and crash into it from behind, causing it to dangle off a bridge. Max pulls Snowball out of the bus because he had passed out. Snowball's team thinks Max hurt him, so they try to attack Max. Max tries to wake Snowball, and when he does, he faints again, making everyone angrier. Gadget arrives with her team and fights off Snowball's crew. Gadget fights fiercely and finds Max. The cage inside the van opens, allowing some of the animals to escape, but Duke is still trapped. Max jumps into the van to get the keys, but they fall into the water and the door opens. Max and Duke start drowning. They struggle to get out, but can't. Suddenly, Snowball dives into the water, grabs the keys, and gives them to Max. Max unlocks Duke's cage and everyone escapes the van. A boat arrives, and they all climb aboard. Everyone becomes friends. Max confesses his love for Gadget and tells her, "I love you." Gadget hugs him, and they leave together. All the pets return to their homes. Snowball says he'll never become friends with humans and vows revenge. Just then, a little girl appears and wants to adopt Snowball and his gang. The others run away into the gutter, but Snowball stays. The girl picks him up and says, "I'll always love you," and takes him home. Snowball feels incredibly happy. Later that evening, all the pets return to their owners, who greet them warmly. Max sits at the gate waiting for Katie, and when she arrives, he's overjoyed. Katie is happy to see Max and Duke together. They sit on the balcony enjoying the view. Meanwhile, Snowball and all the pets throw a party at home. And that's where the story ends.